Good morning, students. Yesterday we discussed the application of Gauss laws. In the applications of Gauss law, we already discussed about the conductor, infinite charged conductor. In this session, we are going to discuss or we are going to derive the expression for the electric field strength due to an infinite plane sheet of charge. Let us consider an infinite plane sheet of surface charge density sigma. Let us consider an infinite plane sheet of charge density sigma. So, which carries infinite charge. Let us consider or construct a cylindrical Gaussian surface. Construct a cylindrical Gaussian surface A, B, C, D. So, it is nothing but a metal plate having some thickness like dexter. Construct a Gaussian surface like chalk piece. So, it has two flat surfaces and curved surface. So, from flat surface, the direction of electric field is radially outwards, and the distance between two flat surfaces is 2r. Let us consider elemental areas, say ds1 and ds2 on flat surfaces, where ds1 and ds2 are parallel to the electric field. Again, consider a small elemental areas, say ds3 and ds4 on curved surface, where ds3 and ds4 are perpendicular to the electric field. We know from Gauss law phi integral E ds cos theta is equal to q by epsilon naught. So, flux through ds1 and ds2 q by epsilon naught, since theta is equal to 0 degrees. So, integral E into ds integral E into ds q by epsilon naught. Since here we are consider same elemental areas, same dimensions of elemental areas, E ds is equal to q by epsilon naught. So, E s plus s q by epsilon naught E 2s q by epsilon naught E is equal to q by 2s epsilon naught E is equal to sigma by 2 epsilon naught is the expression for the electric field strength due to an infinite plane sheet of charge. Since sigma is the surface charge density, it is defined as charge per unit surface area. So, the flux through the flat surfaces is maximum. Here, flux through ds3 and ds4 perpendicular to the electric field. So, perpendicular means theta equal to 90 degrees. So, phi integral E ds2 ds3 cos 90 plus integral E ds4 cos 90 q by epsilon naught. So, theta 90 cos 90 0. So, flux through the areas or through the curved surface is 0. So, flux through the flat surfaces is maximum. So, again let us consider a metal sheet having particular dimensions, may be finite or infinite. Let us consider a cylindrical Gaussian surface, ABCD, such that BC and AD are the flat surfaces, AB and CD are the curved surfaces. Let us take small elemental areas ds1, ds2, ds3 and ds4. ds1 and ds2 are on the flat surfaces, so flux is maximum. Since ds1 and ds2 are parallel to the electric field. Similarly, ds3 and ds4 are perpendicular to the electric field, so flux is 0. We know from Gauss law phi is equal to integral E ds cos theta is equal to q by epsilon naught. Again, what is meant by the Gauss law? The total electric flux through any closed surface is equal to 1 by epsilon naught times of net charge bounded by the surface. So, flux through the flat surface ds1, flux through the flat surface ds2 is equal to q by epsilon naught. Here, electric field intensity E and area element ds1 both are in same direction, since the angle between them is 0. Here also, electric field intensity E and area element ds2 are in same direction, again theta equal to 0, so flux is maximum. So, from this integral ds is S. So, E is equal to sigma by 2 epsilon naught, where sigma is the surface charge density. So, finally, expression for electric field strength due to a charged sheet E is equal to sigma by 2 epsilon naught. Next, we are going to discuss about electric field strength due to a spherical shell. Now, we are going to derive an expression for the electric field strength due to a spherical shell. Let us consider a spherical shell of radius capital R. So, construct a Gaussian surface which is in spherical of radius small r. We know the direction of electric field is always radially outwards. Let us consider a small elemental area ds on the spherical shell, and the direction of ds is always in the direction of E, because the direction of area is normal to that surface. We know from Gauss law phi is equal to integral E ds cos theta is equal to q by epsilon naught. Since electric field direction is radially outwards and the direction of ds is parallel to the E, so theta is equal to 0, cos 0 equal to 1. So flux phi is equal to integral E ds q by epsilon naught E integral ds q by epsilon naught E s q by epsilon naught, since integral ds is nothing but s, where s is the surface area of the spherical shell. Let us consider a point on the Gaussian surface which is at a distance smaller from the center of the spherical shell. Let us consider a point on the Gaussian surface which is at a distance small r from the center. We know the surface area of the sphere 4 pi small r square is equal to q by epsilon naught. So E is equal to q by 4 pi r square into epsilon naught. E is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught q by r square. This is the expression for electric field strength at a point outside the sphere at a distance smaller from the center. Now the point lies outside the sphere. The expression for the electric field strength due to a spherical shell outside the shell 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught q by r square. At a point on the shell, on the shell small r equal to capital R. Since the point lies on the shell, small r equal to capital R. So at a point on the shell 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught q by r square. Q by r square. So at a point outside the shell, at a point on the shell, at a point inside the shell, at a point inside the shell, it means r is less than capital R, E is equal to 0, since no charges inside the shell. So from the explanation we have three equations. One is outside the shell, another one is on the shell, and finally inside the shell. Again, consider a spherical shell of radius r. Construct a Gaussian spherical surface of radius small r. We know the direction of electric field is always radially outwards. Let us consider an elemental area ds on the shell. We know the direction of area is always away from the point of consideration or normal to the tangent. So, E and ds are parallel to each other. The angle between them is 0 degrees. From Gauss law, phi is equal to integral E into ds cos theta is equal to q by epsilon naught. So, ds integral ds s is the surface area. The surface area of the spherical shell or Gaussian surface 4 pi r square, where r is the distance from the center to the point we considered. Then E is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught q by r square. In terms of surface charge density, we can derive surface charge density sigma is equal to 4 pi charge per unit surface area, that equal to q by 4 pi capital R square. So, from this equation q is equal to sigma into 4 pi capital R square. By substituting the q value, we get E at outside the spherical shell 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught q sigma into 4 pi capital R square by small r square. 4 pi cancelled. EP is equal to sigma by epsilon naught capital R square by small r square. So, this is the expression for the electric field strength at a point outside the sphere in terms of surface charge density. Here spherical shells are two types. One is hollow sphere, another one is solid sphere. Hollow sphere means no charges inside the sphere, that is called spherical shell. Solid spheres means there is a charges inside the sphere. So, for hollow sphere it possesses surface charge density, for hollow sphere it possesses volume charge density. Okay na? Then electric field strength at a point on the shell. On the shell means small r equal to capital R. So, 1 by 4 pi epsilon q by r square. At a point inside the shells means small r is less than capital R. Inside the spherical shell, that means hollow sphere, there is no charges. So, inside the sphere electric field intensity is 0. So, these are the applications of Gauss law. So, applications of Gauss law. The first one is expression for the electric field intensity due to a long charged conductor, we are already derived. Expression for the electric field intensity due to a metal sheet, we are already derived. Expression for the electric field intensity due to a spherical shell. These three topics plays important role in JEE Mains and NEET. Again, in this session, we are going to discuss what are the very short answers and what are the 4 marks from the electrostatics, that is electric charges and fields. In the previous session, we already discussed the very short answers from the electrostatics. The first one is, what is quantization of the charge, is the first very short answer. And second one is, how many electrons in 1 coulomb of charge, second very short answers. And what happens to the weight of the body if it is charged positively or negatively. And Coulomb's inverse square law, one of the 4 mark. Electric field strength and expression for the electric field strength due to a point charge, another 4 mark. Electric dipole and electric dipole moment, expression for the electric field intensity at a point on the axial line and equatorial line, these are the 2 4 marks from this chapter. And couple acting on a electric dipole in a uniform electric field, it is also one of the 4 mark. And what is Gauss law and importance? So totally we are having 6 4 marks from this chapter. And later we already discussed the Gauss law and the importance of the Gauss laws. So this is about electric charges and fields. I sent the notes through WhatsApp, and if you have any doubts, send the questions through WhatsApp, okay? And also I sent the running notes through WhatsApp to every students, okay? Next we discuss electric potential and capacitance in the next session.